I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road.
What's up, JFW family? Welcome back to the Channel 23 podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to reach out and touch the fleet, to engage and inform everyone with all things JFW. Welcome back, Jim, Brother Dave, and Super Dave. How was everybody's Christmas?
Yeah, it was awesome. Good morning,
Christmas,
everybody.
Hope you had a good one.
Yeah, coming up on that new year.
I'm sad.
Really?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is the last time we get together this year for the podcast.
It is.
We'll see you next year.
True. Okay. All right.
Podcasting next year.
I feel better.
Everybody make some good eats. I did a brisket. It was just a little 10-pounder, but man,
A little 10-pounder for how many people?
I know.
me, Ace, and Bella.
Yeah. We ended up with an 8-pound prime, Jim, and we were talking about that. That was this big.
Yeah,
God,
we did a 12-pound for all of us.
Brisket or prime rib?
Prime rib, yeah, and there was only like 3-4 slices left out of that from all of us.
Yeah.
So it was good.
So your brisket was good?
It came out great. It might have been one of my, it was probably my best one.
Nice.
Yeah,
You must be getting really good because you say that on each one.
they keep getting better.
and you do
good.
it like once a month.
I guess normally I make a pretty thick bark, but it's like hard to cut to get through the bark, and then there's like jello in there, you know what I mean? So I did a little less bark this time, but I'm telling you, Super Dave, if you try my technique, you'll be happy.
I will. Next brisket I do, I'm going to be on the phone.
It sounds delicious.
I'm going to be hitting you up, Jam.
Of course, there was coconut cream pie, and
Oh, man.
yeah, we didn't do anything traditional. We had some deviled eggs and a cranberry salad, like just the things we like.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, we did prime rib and had some crab legs, and then Allie made games for how many hours, Dave? 4 or 5 hours.
Really?
We played family game every different game.
It was a hoot.
Man.
Yeah, it was fun. Different Christmas. It was good.
We did our Monopoly. We do Star Wars Monopoly. I put my hunting face paint on, and Bella had some like Star Wars face paint on.
Oh,
it was
funny.
fun, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
good stuff.
all right. Guys ready for the pledge?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father God, we thank you for the opportunity to go out and do some trucking today. We pray for the safety of our fleet, all of their families, and all the other families and individuals we come across on the road today. We pray for patience and in making the good, safe decisions. We pray to be accident-free and that we all make it back to the comfort of our homes this evening. We pray for healing and 100% recovery for all of our family members that are ill. And no matter what, we trust you, God, and it's in Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
As a reminder, anything you hear on today's podcast is not the opinion of JFW's. It's just our expressed opinion. Episode 111, we had a slow week. I chalk it up to the holidays. 436 downloads. We're at 59.8 thousand total downloads. And we're still at 221 followers.
Gotta work on that, Jam.
We do.
My daughter Sarah said she was listening to our podcast the other day, and I was like, Sarah, do you follow us? And she goes, yeah, I sure do on Spotify. I was like, right on, girl.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
Do you guys know what a wok is?
Yeah.
What?
You cook your Chinese food in it.
Yeah.
It's like a bowl that you put on the stove.
A wok is actually what you throw at a wabbit when you don't have a rifle.
God. Suckered in on that one, did you?
Oh, man.
I thought I had the right answer, too.
Did you know that all the inventions over the past 100 years, the dry erase board is probably the most remarkable?
Ba-da-ba.
It's time for the Dad Joke Challenge.
Man.
Oh, okay.
I love doing this podcast.
So why do you need a jeweler on New Year's Eve?
Did you say a jeweler or a
Bring in
drop?
the new year.
Yes.
You guys must have seen those.
I think we looked at the
Yep.
same site this morning.
I stumbled over that this morning.
All right. Then how about this one? Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Radio.
Radio who?
Radio or not, it's going to be the new year.
Ah,
I like that.
good one. You guys are bringing the heat.
What is a New Year's resolution?
I don't know.
It's something that goes in one ear and out the other.
Did you?
Ear and out the other.
Did we print the same page, Dan?
Man, I was struggling this morning too. I sifted through a ton of them.
Oh.
Do you know the only pain you'll enjoy on New Year's Eve?
Pain.
A hangover the next day.
Champagne.
Oh, man.
Well, Dave, if I saw yours, you saw this one here. What is an optimist? Excuse me. Let me start over. An optimist stays up to see the new year in, and a pessimist stays up to make sure the old year leaves.
Was that a joke or were you just telling us, Dave?
I found it on the same page as the other one. I thought, oh, there you go.
Oh, funny. Where can you find comedians on New Year's Eve?
I don't
I
know.
didn't see that one, Dave.
No,
Where can you?
they're waiting in the punchline.
Oh, man.
I'm sorry, everybody.
What do snowmen like to do on New Year's Eve?
Chill out. I'm telling you, I looked through a bunch of them this morning,
Man,
and they were all like winter.
you are
slash-
you are ending the year with a big punctuation mark.
He is, isn't he?
Good stuff.
Is that it? We're good?
Yeah, it was just, I don't know why I want to back up here, Jam, but the Pledge Allegiance, you know, the few days off here, you get to TikTok and are looking through different stuff on your phone and things, and Pledge Allegiance just obviously reminds me of America, and, you know, obviously I pledge allegiance to the United States, and Gene Simmons had a little post on there, whatever it was, a TikTok, and you just don't expect Gene Simmons to be stepping in, I guess, this realm of his comment and stuff.
Political?
And
Is this what is? Are we headed political?
It was political a little bit, but I guess it's really political. But he was talking about the immigrants and the immigration in the United States, and he's an immigrant, I guess, or I understood from what he was talking about, and didn't know that about it. But he said, you know, no matter how you come into this country, or if you're an immigrant or not, you have to assimilate just a little bit into the American culture.
Sure.
You know, you have to learn about America, what America stands for, and all that kind of stuff. But he said, I don't want anybody to forget their culture or where they came from. But you're here in America, in one of the, you know, greatest countries in the world, you know, whether we are believing that or not right now. But he said, you still have to learn about the country you want to live in and be proud of it.
Sure.
And I guess that the pledge just reminded me of that I'm how proud I am. But, you know, this time of year, and, you know, there was so many little Biden things I ran across, you know, of jokes and stuff, and maybe it's my feed, but you're just like, God, that's depressing, you know. And, you know, for New Year's Eve celebration, it was like, oh, just let's celebrate one more year of, you know, Grandpa Joe and, you know, all the other stuff. And it's a little bit rough out there politically.
You gave me a great idea. I'm going to do some Biden jokes next week.
Won't be hard to find any.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that sounds some like real logical thinking from Gene Simmons.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
was just a good
if
piece.
if one of us moved to another country, I mean, don't expect them to speak English, and you know.
No, I would definitely be the outsider. I wouldn't want them to learn English because I'm there.
Right.
You know, and that's what's, that's on some stuff, that's what's expected. And I guess I just want everybody to be proud of their heritage, but I also want them to become Americans.
Yeah.
That's the reason you've come to this country to better yourself and watch some other stuff where the guy was like, you guys are all complaining about how bad it is and how this is and that is, but he said, I bet you're watching me on your $1,000 iPhone or your $1,000 computer or your $1,000 TV, and he said it must be really bad, huh? And he said, I don't think people realize how bad it is.
Yeah.
And in other countries, we're insulated, and yet we bitch about this country.
Yeah. I mean, we have heat. We have sewage systems. We have air conditioning. It's kind of like I said a few weeks ago. None of us have done anything to be entitled to live in this country. We didn't do something to deserve it. We're just
Right, we
lucky.
were just born here.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
And we were talking about this at our Christmas celebration. You can wake up today and go out and go jogging or do whatever and not worry about a bomb landing on you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
For now.
Right.
We get a couple million
Pretty
more.
sure we've got some air defenses set up.
We get a couple
catch
million
that.
more immigrants in this country illegally, Dave, and you don't know what's coming in.
Yeah. Cells.
Yeah. I mean, they've dropped 91 busloads at downtown off Zunai and I forget the cross street they said, but 91 busloads of immigrants
In the last year.
in the last 6 months.
Wow. And is that from all over the world, or?
I just know they're illegal immigrants, Jam.
Central America, I think mostly. Guatemala and that area.
The scary thing is like some of the terrorists, right? They'll go to those countries to be able to come here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's.
I guess that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
Jam.
there's cells
We've talked about that before,
Yeah,
right?
there's cells everywhere.
Yeah.
So what what's your plan? What are you guys prepared? What have you done to be prepared for something like that?
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, I hate to say it, but
And
I'm not a doomsdayer type of person either.
And I know you won't. I know you'll disagree with me, Jam. But can you do something for that day? I mean, that's. I mean, you can do stuff, but can you do stuff?
Yes.
Support the military.
So
right?
you can stop a nuclear bomb with all your preparation.
Can't stop a nuclear bomb. But
You know what I mean? You
and I can't stop a cell from setting a bomb off. But we could prepare. We could be prepared. We could have medical equipment with us. We could have firearms with us in case you see something like that happening, or it's more of a combat situation. But yeah, somebody just uses a car bomb. I mean, that's a pretty cowardly way to do it, and there's nothing you can do about that except be prepared to save lives and stuff like that. And I'm not talking about everyone should go to EMT school, but everyone should at least have a tourniquet on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I know you can prepare, Jam. But that's the scary thing. Can you prepare for what's coming? I guess my more thing is I don't know what's coming.
Right.
And that's the scariest part of preparing.
Ask every New Yorker that was at Ground
9/11.
Zero or downtown in Manhattan, were they prepared?
Yeah.
They're going to say no.
Yeah.
We're never prepared for anything like that.
And I think mainly when I hear that, Jam, I think more of, okay, we've lost all communications, right? Cell towers are down.
That one
So, I mean,
movie.
that right there, we're just freaking crippled.
Right.
Because you can't watch TikTok while you're, waiting to hear from your loved one or, no, I'm making a joke. But no, seriously, I mean, what is the plan? Okay, right? You know what I mean? All right, we've lost communications. Something really bad has happened. To me, you should have the backup plan of, okay, when that happens, we're going to meet at the house, within X amount of time, or, if I'm not there by 6 p.m. or whatever the case may be, right? You have that designation, and then, we're gonna gather our shit. There's no power, and it's February, and if we can't heat the house, there's no good staying there because we can't light a fire inside of it to keep it warm. We're going to head someplace we can, and you know what I mean? Stuff like that, right? To me, that's it's survival mode is the plan to me more so than anything.
Yeah, I watched that one movie with Julia Roberts. What was it called? The End of the World, or
Oh yeah.
You mentioned that.
Yeah.
I ever since I saw the advertisement for that, it's like, boy, that looks depressing. I don't want to watch
Yeah, Danielle and Tyler, I'm pretty sure just watched it because the little clip of it is pretty ominous because they're just on the beach and that the big tanker is headed to the beach, and it keeps getting closer and closer.
Leave the world behind.
Yeah, leave the world behind. Yeah,
pretty crazy.
yeah.
All right. No new employees this week, but we do have some celebrations. So funny. So no new employees. What are you laughing at?
That was just an awful entrance. I mean, we're talking about the end of the world and like, where do we go? And,
Yeah, we won't bother hire any more employees.
right? I know, like, and welcome aboard the new employees.
We're all just going to die anyway.
It's kind of a
Oh man,
doomsday podcast for y'all.
Hey, I thought we were going to keep this on the high road.
right? Oh my gosh, this
We
was
didn't,
just.
we didn't hire anybody new this week because we know we're all dying. That's funny. But interestingly enough, so no new employees this week, but no anniversaries this week. Super Dave just does not hire
No,
anybody.
after that poor round of dad jokes, we are all dying.
Hey, speak for yourself. I thought my jokes were great.
We do have some birthdays this week. Juan Morales, he had a birthday on the 24th. Talk about a Christmas birthday.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Robert Lincoln, a.k.a. Bear, he has a birthday today. Happy birthday, guys.
Happy
Nice.
birthday.
Hey, guys.
It's always nice hearing Bear's voice in the morning. Wishing everybody a good morning.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. Family birthday celebrations. Let's see. Jesse's son, Jack Rodabaugh, had a birthday. And then Casey's daughter, Kylie, had a birthday the 30th. So
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
we'll,
happy
we'll,
birthday.
we'll have a birthday
We'll
this
have a
Saturday.
birthday, but yeah,
Excuse
happy
me,
birthday.
yep. As a reminder, we have a Christmas party this Friday, 12/29 at 1 p.m. Who could go to that party? Employees only.
Yep, employees only.
Yep.
Yep. We're having
Poke.
a pig roast.
Pig roast.
Pig
Yep.
roast sounds
Poke
sounds
sandwich.
delicious.
BBQ.
We're just gonna put them in
poke.
the road base out there. Bury them in the road base.
Cook it up with some tarp leaves or something. I don't
Cover
know.
them with some banana leaves.
There you go. I'd like to give a shout out to Megan Rendon. She gave us a pretty nice Google review. Thank you for that, Megan. And then Potter wants to give a shout out to the entire snow crew. A huge shout out for being on call and responding quickly and efficiently once we did get the calls. We also appreciate all you and Scooby and Ken for taking care of the pre-treatment in my absence. So, good job,
Nice.
guys.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, we got an email from Stingray's mom, Mike Wickbrote, and it was just a nice email to. It kind of looked at the beginning of it that it was to me and Dave, but it's really through the years, all the years Mike's been here and stuff, and obviously his mom's been part of it. But this time of year, a lot of things tugs on a person's heart, but nothing does or will compare to the special gift you sent both of us. We're deeply touched by the thoughtfulness and the encouraging verse. So that's a thank you, for something we sent Mike there. So, but we remember and are thankful for Senior and Miss Evelyn, who first hired Mike and set the theme of the family for the company. A big thanks to Jim and Dave, who have done their best to carry on the family theme and drive the business forward while showing Mike and others they also believe in the family. To Jam and Joanne, who have shown so much support and understanding, you are so greatly appreciated. As for Linda, Super Dave, Phil, Scooby, Phil/Scooby, JR, and Mikey, you can always be counted on for support also. Really, everyone at JFW, thank you. Merry Christmas, and may your new year be healthy, happy, and prosperous. Signed, Mike, Stingray Fish, and the mom. So I like the sign off. So thank you, Mike's mom. Appreciate it, and thanks, Mike. Hope everything continues to go well for you here.
Oh, man, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Definitely appreciate that note. Anybody have any other shout-outs? No more shout-outs.
I just have a question, not a shout out. Did the snow crew end up working, or did the de-icer kind of melt the snow as it hit the ground?
We went into intermodal and took care of it. And then we actually didn't do Pecos, but we got a call from them, which was really a shocker because it was like intermodal didn't hardly have anything. And Pecos called and was like, hey, when are we getting service? There's 4 inches of snow here. So, but then I was kind of shocked because getting down here this morning, there's way more snow here. I mean, I have none at the house.
Yeah, I have none. Yeah.
Yeah,
In
it
fact, the
snowed,
streets were dry at my house.
snowed
Mine
pretty
too.
good yesterday in my house.
Yeah,
When I
it
say
was-
pretty good, just compared to the other days.
Yeah.
Kind of cackling at the sign on top of Highway 36. Careful, icy in spots, and it was dry as bone. I thought, man, they're smoking crack up there at CDOT.
Right. I don't know if it got open. I can't believe it's not, but I know I-70 East was closed, all day yesterday, or most of the day yesterday, and then
I-80 as well.
yeah,
I think it's supposed to be in the 50s today, though. 45.
yeah. The rest of the week supposed to be a warm New Year's. Yeah, should be nice the rest of the week. Yeah,
Melt everything away.
but it'll just be. I mean, we're starting on Wednesday. It's just going to be a weird week.
Oh, yeah.
We got to get through this time here.
Yep. And we got the Christmas party Friday, so
Yep.
it's definitely going to be. Man, I feel like we're already off.
Right. Yeah. Does anybody? What
Well,
is our
time
schedule for New Year's? Has anybody talked about it for going into next week?
I haven't heard anything. I'm assuming we'll work the second.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I hope so, because we got a bunch of new employees starting on the 2nd.
Ah, good.
There you go.
Good.
Well,
That's
Dave,
awesome.
you're working.
That's true.
See you Wednesday, Dave. See you.
It
next
would just make sense, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
See you next-
Saturday, Sunday, Monday off, back to work
know.
on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yep.
The old
Common
joke. See you
sense,
next
everybody
week.
would have it.
I know I'm scheduled
Can't
to
wait.
work Saturday. We'll see. We'll see.
I hope so. 23's been a long year. I guess lots of stuff. I know we lost mom and stuff, but that's just part of life. But it's just been a different year. I don't know. Went
Yeah.
by fast, no matter what. I can't complain about Dragon. That's for sure.
We always say a lot of life happens at JFW, and there's been some good and there's been some bad.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of people's personal struggles, but I've also heard of some successes of victories and home buying and babies and
Yeah, for sure.
just
Yeah.
with the amount of employees we got, there's always something going on.
life.
Yeah.
I mean, that just coins it, doesn't it?
Yeah. So
Looking forward to 24, though.
me too.
I mean-
it's gonna be a great year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a big year
I'm
planned.
excited.
I like even years. I don't like odd years.
I like election years.
Yeah.
I kind of like even numbers. And I thought about this a while ago, Dave, but all of my things seem to happen in odd years. I was born in an odd year, graduated high school in an odd year. Just so many other things.
What year did you start working here?
That was an even year. Yeah, 92.
Gotcha.
Huh. But you shouldn't judge any year.
You can't
No.
base any of that,
They're
can
all
you?
good. If
Yeah,
you're
they can't.
walking and talking and breathing and
Yeah. You're
and smiling
on the
you're
right
good.
side of the dirt.
Yep.
Was it Emilio a couple weeks ago? Just got to change that flat tire, right? For a better, your attitude's like a flat tire.
Oh yeah.
You just got to change that flat tire.
Yeah,
When you have,
Emilio Contreras.
yeah.
Yeah, he said, life's like a flat tire.
No, it was an attitude, right?
An attitude is like a flat tire.
He must have read the Energy Bus, Jim. Remember that?
Yeah.
That they
Yeah,
talked
that's a
about a
good-
flat tire.
Yeah, it's just how you want to feel
like you
for the
can't-
day, like you said last week when you just got up in a bad mood. But you
did,
told all of
yeah.
us, I got up in a bad mood and talked to us, and pretty soon it was gone. And I think that's
Oh, no, it lasted all day.
It did in your world, didn't it, Dave?
The rest of that quote was something like, you can't move forward until you change it.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I like
you
that.
gotta-
Yeah.
You got to put a new tire on, right?
Yeah. I mean, we just talked about it. I want to say last week that I hear flat tire and I always think of that, the guy standing on the side of the road. Another guy pulls over to help him. He's like, "You got a flat tire?" Nope. The other three just swelled all up on me.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about that, my favorite one is the one where he's trying to unlock his car with a coat hanger, and guy goes, "You lock your keys in your car?" "Nope, just going to hang it up and let it dry." His answer.
Yep.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the new year coming in and the weather and stuff like that, this time of the year is probably this week is probably the slowest week we'll have at JFW.
Oh yeah, it always. Yeah,
Unless-
the 2 weeks here, and unless we get some really bad storm, but then we're trying to navigate that storm, so it
Right.
makes us seem really busy.
Right.
But you're right, and I think that's the the climate around the state and stuff like that, and the holidays they all are contribute to it being slow, and and people, you know, they don't want to start something new because it's a short week, or, you know, visiting family or things like that. And I know for, you know, some of the new guys we hired, you know, we're saying, oh, we got all this work. We really do. You know, we just got to get through these couple of weeks and in the next month and stuff. And, you know, I just talked about it to dispatch last week. And I know we had to chain up, was it last week or the week before, going to Fairplay? But I think in total we've chained up twice, and you're talking we're through December.
Right.
And, you know, we got January and February, and, you know, the weather starts to turn around. But look at the days we've had in December. Look at the temperatures.
Right.
So, yeah, it's just, you just gotta bounce with it. And so hang in there. Anybody that's hired on new and, you know, you're not making any money for these 2 weeks, I apologize. It's just the time of year, our business. I know a lot of companies, they just close and take these 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of places that don't have anything going on, and I don't know how they handle it with their employees, whether it's, you know, with pay or not with pay or stuff like that. But hopefully, you know, a lot of you guys got some PTO days you can use up. That's always there. But obviously, you've had to work here a while to, you know, gain your PTO days. So yeah, for the new guys, it can be rough, and hopefully you understand. You've worked construction before, and we'll get through it and get going here. We'll have no idea what kind of spring we have or winter. You know, you never know.
It's been warm so far.
Some of the people really get it. They I'm sorry, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, go ahead.
They really get it. Some of them, like you said, been in construction before. I was talking to one driver the other day. He was like, Jam, because I was trying to explain. He's like, all I've done is construction my whole life. This is what I'm used to.
Yeah.
You know, and then other drivers that have been here for a year or more, you know, they're kind of enjoying the break a little bit, getting to spend a little bit more time with their families, using that PTO, breathing a little bit, because before you know it, we're back to the summertime, and it's
back in the grind.
Pretty demanding. So,
yeah, I was just going to throw out there. Was watching Corey Reppenhagen there on, I think, Channel 7 or Channel 9, but the week of December, I don't know what it would be, the 18th through the 27th or something like that. The week right during Christmas and before Christmas is historically the coldest averages in Denver. I mean, if you were to look out, you know, what's the coldest week of the year? We just finished it.
Oh, gotcha.
And look at how warm it was.
Yeah.
But yet last year, it was below zero.
Huh.
It was super cold last year.
I just always put it with stock show, Dave. We haven't had that stock show weather for a couple years now, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was like last year, but
yeah, that starts next Friday.
Yeah, I seen that advertisement. I'm like, oh yeah, it's stock show time.
Yeah,
you know, yeah, it's.
I mean, granted, I was in the high country, but on my hunting trip, it was colder and more snow than we got now. Mm-hmm. You know, I remember one morning it was 7 degrees up there. Mm-hmm. So,
I just can't believe that with this climate change, Jim. I'm surprised you can still get that cold.
Yeah, it's a miracle.
I don't know. We can, yeah. You kind of opened the door on that one, Dave, because we watched Danielle and Tyler. We watched. Oh man, now I can't tell you. It's a Christmas. Bing Crosby.
A White Christmas.
A White Christmas. Yes, a White Christmas. And when they finally get to Vermont, it hadn't snowed.
Oh, wow.
And there was not a drop of snow. And this was, we looked it up, 1953.
Oh, wow.
And I had to make the joke, must have been climate change in 1953 because it hadn't snowed in Vermont. And that was I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, and they got one. But
do you guys know, do flat earthers believe in climate change?
Flat earthers, huh? I don't know.
I mean, I would have to say no. Right?
Right. So,
how can you even believe the Earth is flat? I mean, I just laugh about that, but they truly do.
It's a thing.
I mean, we've got satellites in space and beaming back. You could probably pull up a live picture of Earth on your phone.
Right.
The best is the astronaut taking a selfie with the Earth behind him. Like, yep, I'm pretty sure I know the Earth is round.
Yeah.
Like, I could prove it to you.
Yep.
You know?
So. Yeah, absolutely.
Those are the people that are voting, Dave.
Well,
the flat earthers. That's our problem.
Well, I just this morning when I was looking at CNN News and I read that article about the
Who?
carry-on,
What channel?
the carry-on gun thing.
I'm gonna have to kick you out of the room.
What's wrong with CNN?
What? Dave. Keep going.
It's controlled by the Democrats.
I might need another desk.
There's a little archipelago of islands just halfway between Australia and Hawaii, and it's really flat. Like the mean elevation of the island or islands is like a foot. I mean, it's super, super flat, and they are planning evacuation now because the sea level's risen so much. They think within the next 20 years there won't be any land left.
Wow.
And so Australia has admitted their visas and made, preparations to bring them all. There's only 11,000 people that live on this little set of islands. And
Is that from the icebergs melting?
it's from the heightened sea level due to storms, bigger storms. But yes, it's also from all the polar ice caps that are melting, and maybe the land itself is sinking too. I'm not sure, because that does happen too. That land can rise and sink depending on the tectonic plates and so forth. But
The land sinking would make sense. I saw an experiment the other day where if you fill up a glass of water and you put ice in there where the ice is sticking up above the water, when that ice melts, the glass is just still full. It's not overflowing.
no, because the volume remains
The
the same.
displacement, yeah. So
I don't know.
You would think on bodies of water as big as oceans, though, there would be quite some evaporation.
you would think.
It's a cycle. It comes back in the form of rain and snow, but it does move around, right?
Sure.
We've got the jet stream and
Sure.
everything moving it around. But you got to remember, most of the world's ice caps, Jam, are on land. Greenland and Antarctica carry, I'd say, 95% of the ice cap.
Gotcha.
So you're
Yeah.
basically saying that climate change is bullshit because the water isn't rising due to melting ice caps.
I didn't say that.
I have a whole.
just said that.
I have a whole different theory because I know Japan or China. See, I don't know which one though. I think it was Japan, China. Anyway, they've built a whole island out of sand in the sea. Because now they're saying it's theirs, and they've
for their
encroached.
airport?
They've encroached on their airport, and they're the ones that just took out those islands. They flooded them
Oh,
because
wow.
they
Because of the sand
I
displacement.
think that is Japan that built that
It is.
airport.
right,
It's Japan,
right,
yeah.
right. Because
It's
they've
a modern marvel.
yeah.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they displaced all that water and flooded those islands. Those guys should be pissed over there.
Could you imagine
Now that's
trying
from
to
those
get
islands in Dubai, Jim.
Yeah, the Dubai, I was going to bring that up. They've built,
Yeah, they've built
Yeah.
their stuff too, haven't they, Jam?
When
Yeah.
was the last time the United States built a modern marvel? Those are all modern marvels, right? Japan's airport, those islands in Dubai. I mean, those are modern frickin' marvels. These are things that have taken human beings a decade to build or more. We can't frickin' repave an interstate.
we built
Actually,
a Tesla.
we do, Dave.
We built
We have the only private company that has sent 100 rockets into space, and we've also are the only country that has landed robots and helicopters on Mars.
And we also created the new telescope that they sent out that were just 2 years
yeah,
ago.
the,
They launched 2 years ago.
What is it, Jim?
I can't tell you the
I
name,
should know it too because I
but
read all that stuff.
because the pictures that are coming back
Are incredible.
But they need colorization. Did you see that, Dave?
Yeah.
So they come back. I'm going to say like in black and white, and then they take and colorize them, and they are amazing photos. Yeah, yeah, because that takes photos or pictures or however it looks of billions of light years away or something. It was amazing.
Yeah,
I
the
couldn't even-
oldest light in the universe. Yeah, because
Yeah.
is it 1 or 2 million miles away from the Earth? It's farther out than the moon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know it replaced the Hubble. That was the
Right.
original one. Yeah. So we've built that too, and launched that.
James Webb Space Telescope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we
Thank you,
have some
Internet.
of our own
Thank you, Google.
marvels, Dave. I know you're a little upset.
They're not here. They're not.
They're not on 270, are they?
No, I want to see it.
Well,
Right?
Paving 270 is.
I want it to
It
benefit
would be
us.
a marvel, but I don't think it is a marvel.
Oh, it's a marvel.
What do you think about the new bridges? I mean, they've held up fairly well for a few weeks.
Man, aren't they nice?
Yeah.
Every day I go home, I'm like, this is nice.
I mean, it's so sad. They're. You're right, Dave. They are so nice compared to what we had.
I've been getting
They're an actual pathetic road.
getting on it.
Because when you look at the levels of them,
Overall,
right?
yeah, but those
compared to
bridges-
what we used to have, oh my God, we're thrilled, right, to have such a piece of crap road.
I miss the
I just
whoopty.
love getting on at Vasquez. I get right back off at York and go back and do it again.
I miss the whoop-de-doop.
Yeah, the whoopie-doo, yeah.
I
That was
know.
a highlight of my drive
Where
home.
you hit your head on the on the roof of the car.
Tell you what, they need to fix is the one coming off of 36.
Yeah.
Oh, that's-
you hit that
oh,
one.
boy.
That'll knock a filling out.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
get
the way they fixed it, Jim, they put a sign that says bump.
Right.
And that's what they got.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no shit.
Yeah, I think I took
But we
dates.
can see other planets.
Hey, you asked about modern marvels, so I thought I'd lay it on you.
Honestly, Soup, you're all over it today, and I like it.
He is. I told
Yeah.
him he needed to jump in today. He's
Yeah.
in it. He's in
Yeah.
it to win it.
I seen him put his mouthpiece on. He's got his boxing gloves on, some headgear.
Well, what's funny is nobody can see in the studio here. Every time he talks, he keys up a CB mic.
Oh man, one thing I do want to talk about is a breakdown procedure. Just because of what we heard this morning, if you have a problem with your truck and you are in this yard, please do us a favor, come in the shop, talk to the mechanics. The reason we want you to do this is a mechanic could be underneath the truck working on something or have his hands full, and for him to have to crawl out from underneath that truck to come answer the radio to answer a question. We just prefer that you walk inside and talk to the mechanic. Same thing if you are told to bring your truck in for a breakdown repair. When you get here, same thing. If you could walk in, talk to the mechanic, find out where they want you. That is a proper procedure and what we like you to do.
Yep. Yeah, we talk about it all the time, you guys. We're driver support. Everybody here is driver support, and it does seem easy to call in on the radio, but it is very hard for the mechanics to stop exactly what they're doing when they can continue working. You can walk up to them, ask them, they can answer your question. They can continue working, and you can put your truck where they need you to put it. Then they can find a moment to help you out. Yeah. So we are driver support, but you can help support us too in making things move smooth. And there's nothing like, I don't know, the call in on the radio and you're sitting here in the yard when you could just walk in and ask. Yeah. And then there's that whole group. I heard it quite a bit over here at Yard 23. Casey and Kendrick are there every morning. The times me and Dave have been over there, they're driving around in their trucks, and a lot of people, we don't quite have a parking assignment over there, so everybody's kind of migrated to parking in different spots. It would be better if it was a little closer together. But they're there, they're looking for things, they're there to help. And then we get, somebody calling the shop and asking for this. When those guys are there, you utilize them. They're there for you to help you. They're not going to get upset at you or anything like that. Like hooking up to the trailer this morning. One of the guys was asking about the gin pole valves because it didn't have the valves on the side. And, right. Casey or Kendrick finally jumped in there and said, I'm here and we'll take care of it. But holler at those guys. Yeah. They both have company radios. They're there.
They're your first stop. They're your first. You got a problem at Yard 23, the first people need to be notified are Kendrick and Casey.
Yep.
Then it goes from there.
How many gin pole valves do we have? Do you know, Dave? It's got to be maybe 4 or 5. I don't know.
Yeah, there can't be that many left.
No.
There just can't be.
It's come up in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is at least the second time in 2 weeks that it's come up.
Right.
It's probably the same trailer. Yeah, we might have one trailer that's just circulating around.
I won't miss those.
There's 2 trailers.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny conversation, but I was being a kind of a smart ass with myself because I go, hey, 87, and I heard the conversation, and then they were talking about the gin pole valves, and somebody said, "Is that T87?" It's like, well, if they're looking for gin pole valves on it, I assume it's T87, but it was making sure. I don't think because the radios were kind of scratchy this morning. I think they were making sure it wasn't like 0087 and what he was hooking to or something like that. Sure. But it was good banter back and forth. Yeah. Yep. It's like the guy, trying to unlock his car, right, Dave?
That's right.
Is that T87? Nope.
It's 0087. The Jim pole on 0087.
Yeah.
Well, with the new trailer numbers, we would never have that confusion. Anyway,
Yeah.
who came up with that numbering system?
I think it was all Mikey, wasn't it, Dave?
Smart.
I had a version of it, and then it's
You went the road.
we went with.
I need more information. What else you guys got? What you want to talk about? We are winging it.
Winging it.
Winging it. Wing nut it.
Winging it. Yeah, I don't know, Jim. It was just, I know we were going to throw this, podcast this morning together, but it's been a little slow. Also, what we were just talking about, and maybe that leaves us a hole where we don't have a lot of new stuff to talk about. I'm personally, like I said, I'm looking forward to 2024, and one of the guys, I think Oswaldo, in fact, asked me about the stats for last year, and with the few days off here, I didn't have a time to pull those up, but maybe for the Christmas party here, we can read some of those. He was asking how many tires we bought, and different, what have we spent on fuel this year, and how many miles have we driven total, and all the different little stats like
And
that.
you're painting yourself in a corner. Now you're going to have to do it.
Yeah. Well, I said maybe.
I'd like to be
It's
able
just
to.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
To gather that information is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to be able to discuss the income stats if we can, obviously without giving names, but there's some impressive numbers being thrown up. And I like that where 50% of the fleet is, the number that they're above. I just think for the year that we had, with it being a little slower than it was the prior years, if you guys would agree with that.
Yeah.
We didn't have those 10,000 cube days.
Yeah, Jen. It was more
2,000
manageable.
yard
I don't know if we obviously it probably was slower because I'm saying it's more manageable.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was a decent year for everybody that way managing it. But yeah, the numbers that we're seeing that the guys have made, and I think we talked about it on last week's podcast or the week before when Dave has a new guy come in and go, "Hey, I'm just not making it. I'm not making any money." And yet we see, and I'm not talking the top 10 guys, right, Jim? You're talking 50% of the fleet.
Yep.
Over 50 people are making X amount of money.
Yes.
And we know that it's possible to make money here.
Yep.
And I know we do it on a percentage, and all of that percentage helps make different money. But if you're here just doing your job, you're
gonna
making
make
money. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other interesting thing is how many people that we have here that have been here at least a year. These are the people that are going to make money. When somebody comes in and they say they can't make money, they don't make it very long. So to me, they didn't put their best foot forward, or their financial situation didn't allow them the time to learn the job.
Right.
If you come in here, and on the week before Thanksgiving, and you're 3 months behind on your mortgage, you're probably not going to feel like you're making money here, and you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
You don't have the
pressure's too
chance.
much.
You didn't give yourself a chance. But if you can make it a year, the numbers are there, and I'm just thrilled to death to see.
And they're just going to keep going
And
up,
they're
Jim,
gonna
because
keep
you
going
get
up.
that annual,
Yeah.
increase till you're topped out there. Yeah.
And I mean, there's one driver here. He's only been here a year, and he's in the top 10. You know what I mean? So if you come in, and it is possible to rise up pretty quick.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll get the comments, "Oh, they got the best dispatch.
Oh,
they
yeah.
did this, they did that."
He's a favorite.
Yeah, we got the hard wires. Well, believe it or not, some of the numbers changed when we took away the hard wires, did they not?
Yeah, they made more money.
Right?
Yeah, if you look at the top 10, none were hardwired.
Now,
Yeah.
the top 10 guys they just do.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't, they don't complain. They just go do the job. Well, one guy maybe complains a little bit. But they just go do the job, and they make money. Efficiency, consistency.
Yeah.
That's all you need.
They give
You show up.
value.
They give honest value. You show up to work every day, you're going to make money. If you're calling out once a week, you're not going to make money.
Yeah.
And that's why we pay the way we pay. The way we pay for production is designed for those people to weed themselves out. If you can't make it to work every day for a week, this job isn't for you.
Yep.
Go work for the city.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's I don't know. It just seems like the most fairest. We talked about that too, about an hourly guy and what he makes, and you're doing everything you can hourly, and that guy's still making the same wages as you are. It doesn't work like that here.
Right.
Like you said, that person, you get what you put into it.
You eat what you kill.
Yep. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean,
that reminds me. I'm so bad at sayings and stuff. I should have wrote that down, but one of them this weekend I ran across was if you're watching the clock to earn money or something like that, you'll never be successful or something like that. And it just made me think. We had that question from, I don't remember his name, next door at Denver Truck and Trailer.
Marshall.
Yeah, Marshall. How do you
Balance.
work-life balance, right? And it's the same thing. I don't know, maybe you could help me answer this, Brother Dave, but and Super Dave, you've been in the same thing. All the jobs I've ever done, and working with Dad, whether it was excavating or whatever, I never looked at the clock. This is just how long the job took. This is just how long the haul took. Some paid better, some paid worse, some, you got them done fast. Sometimes you ran into problems, but I never looked at the length of the job. It's just what needed to be done, and I don't know if that helps, as part of Marshall's question, works into the equation there, that job balance, life balance, but I never worried about the hours. It was just something that needed to be done.
Yeah, same. I kind of work, and you work until it's over.
done.
Yeah.
You do the job. You're not worried. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Time to clock out.
Yeah.
Well, the job's not done. You work until you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's never, I guess I've never looked at things that way. So it's never, and obviously I guess I can say we're successful. I mean, I can be, a gusher about it. And I say, we wouldn't have the success if we didn't have like-minded people around us, but the like-minded people don't watch the clock either. Right. We got to get this done. Right. And that's what we've done all our lives.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting it done, I just want to give a quick shout out to Kendrick, Casey, and Scooby for putting up that new building.
Yeah. Yeah. Good call.
Shop. Also, JR, Super Dave, you guys helped myself. We went over there for the very end.
I don't know, 3 hours, Jam, maybe?
Yeah, we didn't. Well, the joke is we helped put the top over, so I looked at Super Dave. I was like, now we could say we built this thing. But those guys, I mean, it's super professional. It looks great.
It looks beautiful.
It looks amazing. So great job, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you guys can say you raised the roof.
We did raise it.
We did. Yeah. We could have used a couple of more hands on that. It was, yeah.
Yeah,
we kept on falling on our ass when the clips broke.
Almost had a couple workman's comp claims, but we survived.
No worse for wear. We got her done.
Always a learning curve on that too, because I bet you could go over there next time and do it with one less person because you found out a better way to do it.
You bet.
So
first time is always the figure it out.
Yeah,
on the run, on the fly,
for sure.
We had one of them sky hooks. We could have just hung that top on there and.
We just needed to rent a copter.
There you
cargo
go.
Copters.
I think you could have got a dozen drones the way they do that now.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see they set a record over Christmas? They flew 1,500 drones and did the Nutcracker.
Oh, no way.
Did you see Santa Claus in Dubai though?
Yes.
Walking the buildings like they did for Halloween.
Oh, they had Santa Claus in this drone show. I mean,
yeah, this was like he was outside the buildings dancing.
Gotcha.
See, there's a
the
modern
drones.
marvel for the United States. The most drones.
Yeah, they were all built in China, by the way.
It's just Guinness Book of World Records.
Each
Dave.
one is going to have a bomb on it, and they're going to let them go over Russia.
You know what we did do that was pretty cool is we went to Bandimir, the color.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The light festival.
The thing you drive
Yeah,
through
you
and
stay in your car and listen to the music.
yeah, I didn't realize like we're waiting and the guy's like takes or scans my ticket. He's like our channel's 89.3. I'm like and then like the mouths are moving to the music. Like it was cool. Bella and Ace had a great time.
Oh yeah. We did that several years when the girls were younger. Yeah, it was
I wonder
fun.
if they'll continue that now that Bandimir is shut down. I mean, I know they do it other places too. I think Waterworld, which would have been a lot closer, but I just figured it would be cool to go down to Big Bend.
I didn't see if Waterworld put it on this year, Jim.
I thought
know
I
they
saw
had it in the
tickets.
past.
Thought I saw a ticket. I actually did a Groupon. My mom would be very proud.
Nice.
Yeah, it was like $28.
Ooh, Gonga deal.
Yeah, and it's just for the car. So many people. It was just us three, but man, some of those vehicles, they packed them in there.
Right.
Kids are on the roof, standing on the running boards, holding on. I mean, it was cold out too, so
That's
I just sat inside with the window. They give you 3D glasses, and
Wow.
yeah,
Oh, that's
it's
very
pretty
cool.
impressive. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did the Botanic Gardens one year,
Oh.
and that was cool. 'cause
Did you have
it
to
was
walk?
You do walk.
Oh,
Yeah,
forget
you
it.
walk through the whole gardens, but they have all the lights set to music, and
Nice.
it is beautiful.
We did it last year, and that's like you just mentioned, Dave, how cold it was. We did the Botanic Gardens, and it was cold last year.
Jim.
We were like bundled up, and
Yeah.
it was so beautiful. And we're like, oh, let's make this a family tradition. Let's do this every year. And
Nope.
so we got to this time of year, and I'm like, Holly, are we going to do that? And she goes, nope, I forgot.
Yeah, it was well below zero last year.
Oh, it was, Dave. It was freezing. Yeah.
Our neighbor put up Christmas lights, and every time I turned around, he was putting out more lights and more displays and more features and this and that and the other. And finally, one night, it's been like 3 weeks ago, we came home, and I'm like, God, Janet, we finally stopped and watched this light show go on. And I said, this would be amazing if it was to music. It looks like it's got to be to music. And the next day, I went and got the mail, and sure enough, he has a sign in his yard, and you tuned into 91.1. And you just pull up there in your car, and it is song after song after song, just with everything you're talking about, Jam. And we've sat 3 times now and watched it, and it's phenomenal. I mean, it was actually, I'm usually the bah humbug when it comes to lights. I know that shocks
Oh,
everyone
you're
here in
kidding
this room.
me.
Because I'm like, that just seems so silly. Man, I
would you
love
co-
this guy's light show.
Would you call
It's
their
a
yard?
modern marvel.
Yes. Would you
That's
call
why-
it? I was just going to ask you that. You beat me to it.
See, that's why you don't have to put lights up, because you got him.
We can just watch his show.
Yeah.
I'm in. I am in.
Yeah, I've never put lights up.
Kind of like that commercial where the dude's got his whole house lit up, and then the other house just has a sign that says "Ditto." That's Dave's
I haven't
house.
seen that, Dave.
Oh, that's
The
awesome.
arrow pointed to the neighbor's house.
Yeah, man, making that sign that says "Ditto" is going to be a lot of work.
On some of the hunting groups I belong to, they have like a deer like hanging and like bleeding.
Oh man,
Like like they gutted it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like
Merry
this deer like
Christmas message.
bleeding out.
that's funny.
Yeah, I've tried for years. Well, I didn't this year, and I haven't the last couple. But I've tried for years with the girls and stuff to put all these lights up, Jam. And every year I'm disappointed because I just don't think they look good enough. Because you go by somebody else's house, and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that tree! Look at the way it's wrapped.
Yeah.
It's so cool. And I'm just always depressed on how that I don't do it very well.
Yeah,
Well-
Jackie and I went for a ride not this weekend before last. And some of the houses are just
They're
gorgeous.
beautiful, Dave.
I mean, I think those were professionally done because they're perfectly straight lines on the eaves, on all the pinnacles of the houses and stuff.
Right.
And I said to Jackie, I said, ours look like shit. And she just, bless her heart, she's like, Dave, they look great. Stop comparing yourself to
Yeah.
everybody else.
At
It's
least
so
you
good
guys
job.
try. I've never even tried to put
Yeah.
lights up.
I just saw a post a kind of a short story here, but one of our swim team family friends, they've always decorated a tree, and they call it Nora's tree, with blue lights because Nora, back in 2017, she was on our swim team, and she got this really rare cancer and passed away in less than 90 days. But she was a neighbor to that family, and the whole neighborhood puts up a blue tree in their yard. Every single family. But I'm telling you, when Derek does this tree, it is mind-boggling. And I just saw a post this weekend in the Nextdoor app. Someone's talking about Derek's tree, and I think he's well over 12,000 lights now. But this year, he covered every single limb, branch, twig. It is amazing. It is a phenomenal light. If anybody knows where the what are the soccer fields called over there off Sheridan Gym and
Oh yeah,
just south of 136th,
north of 120th. Yeah,
Bam.
I don't know the names because they're right by Terry and Kathy's. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, definitely headed that direction, right? But they're west of Sheridan, and it's south of 136. So as you drive down Sheridan and you look west, south of 136 and you see this brilliant blue tree, you can just wander your way over there to the neighborhood, and it is worth the trip. And just knowing Nora's story and whatnot, just very, very heartfelt. It's a good feeling. It brings you back around to what Christmas is about and how precious life is. And gosh, anybody that's lost a child and this time of year and whatnot, very, very special. So cool to see the tree. Then someone posted, the story of what went on and explained it, and that made it even better. Good stuff.
Very cool.
SCL Health has a pretty good light show going on. Have you gone down 287 past the hospital?
No, Dave. Oh.
Wow.
So you've been by there, and you know they have pines, and the whole length of that property is trees in the front. They all have. I tried to count the other day, and I lost count at like 30 something.
Wow.
I was driving by too fast, but the whole entire, and all the way down through Exempla Drive down towards the parking lot around the back. It's all, every tree has lights on it.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
SCL
cool.
Health becoming Intermountain now?
Yeah, there's
Intermountain
two
Health?
signs out there now.
Yeah.
So they must have sold out or changed their name or
Yeah.
something. I know Centura is now with another name, because all the Broncos commercials, the dude is saying our partnership, and I'm like, it's now, God, it's not Centura Health anymore. It's something else.
I thought
And
it was.
it's really stupid.
Oh,
too. The
yes,
new
yes.
name is
It changed
stupid.
name too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jen and I were talking about that. Like, what? All
Yeah.
the hospitals are being bought out, or
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Well, I mean, think about it. SCL is Intermountain. What is?
It's called Intermountain Health now, and there's another sign, a brand new sign, right out next to the SCL Health sign is still there.
Right.
The old one.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's almost like they have the canvas advertisement, like a big canvas roll up type deal hanging on the side of the hospital now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got some tips and tricks from Ray Davis. Ray actually put this together on his time off here for the holidays.
No,
So,
obviously no questions from the audience, Jan.
No,
because
no
it's short
questions.
week.
yep.
I can't even grind my gears on anything. I can't.
Do you want to? I heard we were going to keep it positive, but if you want to
Wow! Can't I grind my gears and be positive? No,
grind them,
I don't have anything, Jim. Yeah,
Oh, that's
good
funny.
stuff.
I bet you could go drive the old 0023 and not grind any gears, Jim.
can't grind gear. Well, that's true.
I don't know. We drove the trucks we were looking at for the super tandems had 8 speeds in them, Dave, and
Ground a couple.
I ground a couple.
Well,
Grind
he's
them till
also
you're
not
fine.
telling you those trucks have a bench seat on the passenger seat, Dave.
Yeah.
Mike and I didn't fit well.
We all
man.
So
we
there
all
were
three
three
got
of
in the
us.
cab.
Who was in the middle.
So you were driving,
Mike.
Jim, and every time you'd go back to like fourth gear, and Dave would go, ow!
And it was kind of funny because the salesman, he's like, why don't you guys pull the truck around there and I'll bring a plate out to you. You know, it was just the way the parking lot was designed. And he comes walking up and he sees the three of us crammed in there. And he's like, man, this looks like an old college story I used to tell.
Three Stooges, huh?
Yeah,
That's funny.
Dave finally looked at Mike and goes, Mike, he ain't going to get that gear unless you move.
That's funny. You were grabbing Mikey's knee to change gears.
Yep. A little friendly.
All right, tips and tricks from Ray Davis. First, tips and tricks for the fleet. It's almost a new year, and that means for the people that have been here for over a year, site specifics are going to need to be renewed. Also, fry tear weights are once a year, so be ready to get a new tear next year.
Good tip.
Yeah. And then for some trainer tips, he says we need to make sure Google Sheets are filled out before the end of the day so dispatch can see where we have been and where we need to go. If a trainee is struggling in a pit or a plant, make sure to put that in the notes so dispatch knows and you can work on that place again if needed. Make a call to dispatch if you're over at yard 23 and let dispatch know what you need to work on. 99% of the time, dispatch will work with you. If you're here at the East Yard, go in and talk to dispatch or give them a call. It is super important that you communicate to dispatch to get your trainee where he or she needs to so we can be better. Hope all is well with the JFW family, friends and listeners. Remember, safety has no blind spot. Look and lean. Sit up in your stool. Don't be a fool. And the New Year's resolutions are coming up. Don't say you're going to lose weight or stop smoking. make it something you can do, like using your blinker. Much love and respect always, Ray 0013.
I love it.
That's awesome.
good
Good job,
stuff.
Ray.
That's such a pet peeve of mine when people, and maybe you guys do this too. So you get some guy that's coming up and he passes half on the shoulder, or he comes up around you like 20 miles an hour over the speed limit. And then he gets in front of you and you watch him go down the road and he never uses a blinker. He'll change lanes 2 or 3 times,
Right.
doesn't use the blinker, isn't paying attention to the speed limit, and you're like, oh, that's how that person is. Not just how he drives,
That's how the person is.
that's his whole life right there.
Yep.
Disrespectful, has no regard
Selfish.
for others.
Selfish.
Yeah, selfish. Yeah, very good, Jim.
Man, we've had some near misses and witnessed a couple of accidents recently. My next low light reel, or our next low light reel, is going to be pretty good.
I bet.
Pretty good in a bad way.
Yeah.
Right? That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the same way you got to think too, Super Dave, when you go shopping. We went shopping at Costco, needed to pick up one thing, and the place was
10
just...
shopping carts later.
at Costco.
No, we did, Dave. 2 things. We got 2 things.
10 carts later.
Yeah,
They got into the store.
exactly. But so we went there, and it was so crowded. We parked clear out by the gas station there, the one on Highway 7 in Washington, out by the gas station, just over to the side. And me and Holly's like, okay, let's go do this. And we're like, we're just going to have a good attitude, not have any problems. Found a basket in the parking lot. We pushed back in, go in the place, and the person looking at the card, we're like, Merry Christmas. They're like, Merry Christmas, and get a couple aisles, and people you can barely get down the aisles. I mean, it was so bad. And I stopped at the end of the one aisle, and people are fighting back, and the woman stopped to let me across. It's like driving your car, at the 4-way stop. And I'm like, go ahead. I said, you just have to have patience. This person behind me was so pissed. It was just like sitting in your car. Tried to go around me, and the woman cut him off, because she could see that the other guy was impatient, And I actually ended up having the best time because I just
Watching?
watching, and I just didn't care. Like, go ahead,
funny.
just. Because that's how you lead your life. That's the reason you're here, is to try to battle through this, and that's how your life is. And I'm like, man, and we had a great time. And then we ended up doing the self checkout, and Holly's like, oh, this self checkout. She goes, it rocks if somebody will come up and scan your stuff, And because we only had 2 items, or I think maybe we ended up with 3, like you said, Dave, you can't do that.
Impossible.
But they were like, because we just had the few, they were like,
Yeah.
bleep, 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 and scan your card and you're gone. I mean, it was so awesome. But you're right, Dave. That's how they lead their lives.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because Christmas and the holidays are supposed to be warm and cozy and loving and all these positive things, but it brings out the worst in people.
Yeah.
They're in a hurry. They say it's the most dangerous time on the roads because everybody's, in a hurry and not paying attention. But I wanted to ask you, Jim, was that Friday you were there?
Yes, it was Friday.
Because Jackie
Yep.
went there Friday to buy our prime rib.
That's what we did too, Dave.
That's all
exactly
she went there for.
Yep.
But she said it was unbelievable. She did the rounds in the parking lot waiting for somebody to move,
Wow.
to back out, because there was not a spot to be
that
had.
crazy?
No, and because we went in, I don't know, it'd be funny what time she went, Dave, because it was a little less busy when we left, and I think we got there like 2 or 3. And I thought maybe this would be a good time. But I think also what was pushing it too was the talk of the storm coming in for Christmas.
Yeah.
And I think that bothered people.
Well, that's Armageddon. If there's a storm coming, boy,
Oh yeah,
right?
It's funny.
Lots of water and food and canned goods and like Armageddon.
Gotta be prepared. Church service this past weekend was kind of exactly about this because, the pastor was talking about like the Christmas songs are all lies. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most wonderful time of the year. This is like the worst time of the year for a lot of people. There's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt. Just going like, is it really the most wonderful time of the year, or have we lost track of what it's really supposed to be about?
They talk about how stressful it is, especially financially.
Yeah.
Yep. I think so much of that
isn't
stress
it like
is
the end of March by the time you pay off all your Christmas credit cards.
Oh,
I mean, it's a long time.
I bet it's beyond that.
Yeah.
Especially
Not this family.
Yeah, again, they commercialized everything. Your Black Friday, your Thanksgiving, your all this other
Cyber
stuff,
Monday.
and Cyber Monday, and all your things, that you're buying up to Christmas, the stuff for Christmas. I know this year I thought we did really well as a family. Like I mentioned, we played games at Christmas, but we didn't. We just did a couple stocking stuffers, just some fun stuff, but no presents. It was kind of nice. No,
we took care of Bella this year. She's 9, so Christmas is
there's still something special.
Yeah,
there,
so she did good. She got 2 cats. She got a pair of J's. She got another kind of blinky shoe and a lot of little
Did
things.
you say 2 cats?
Yeah.
Like kittens?
You were going to get 1, and you ended up with 2, huh?
So you had
Yeah,
2
it was
dogs,
really weird.
2
One day I
cats?
came home and there was another cat. I don't know.
Those don't go together, do they? Dogs and cats?
It's kind of weird. So the Sika, the older husky, she's very interested in them. Anytime the cats try to come up, they chase them down. But not like, they're not prey driven. They're not like growling. They just like, oh, there's the cat. We want to know the cat.
Yeah.
But I went downstairs because we got a baby gate. And the cats could get through the baby gate. Sika could jump over the baby gate if she wants to, but she really doesn't. So one day I go down there and the lights are off, and I turn the light on, and Sika's staring through the baby gate, and there was an ottoman right next to the baby gate, and the cat's there, and they're just looking at each other through the baby gate. You know what I mean? So, and then Bella told me the other day that Sika did jump over the baby gate, and the cat and the Sika were in the same room, and they were just kind of looking at each other no big deal. Agape, she's too hyper. She sees the cats, and she wants to know what's going on with the cat.
And play probably, and all
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
just super interested.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no, with the other dogs, when we had the pit bulls, they would have a tug of war with the cat. There's no way the cat would survive.
I mean, that husky I had, if it saw the cat, it'd be like, lunch.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? This is you can't take that wild out of that animal, it seems like.
Yeah, Sika is the most well-behaved dog I've ever come across. It is just, it's crazy how well-behaved she is. Nice. She's could do no wrong.
Wow.
She'll rough Agape up once in a while, but she's also gentle with her sometimes.
Yeah.
They'll play tug of war with the rope, and Sika could have the rope anytime she wants, but she'll let Agape try to get it. That's pretty cool. Yep. Not sure how we got on the cats. Christmas and the gifts. But yeah, me and Ace, we didn't do gifts. I did get her one internet thing for us, but yeah, other than that, yeah, there's definitely no credit card debt.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that.
Yeah. We bought a couple light bulbs as a
together
gift,
Yeah, so one
change
meme,
the light bulb out. Or a fixture.
I saw one meme and it said, if you got to go on credit card debt to show people that you love them, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
If you feel pressure to run up your credit cards to show people you love them, you got the holiday mixed up.
Yeah.
How about that High Road Holland soup?
I have a great High Road Holland today.
I knew it.
And, I want everybody to think about what's going on in the world, what's going on with our country. It seems like it's dysfunctional. And I'm a big history buff. I love history, and history can teach you everything you need to know about the present. And I really, really wish people would learn about it. But anyway, this High Road Holland starts out about the new year and about your goals. But I'm using an example from history to give you an idea of how you should pursue those goals. So anyway, what are your goals for 2024? Do you have any? Each year brings a new set of challenges, ideas, and dreams. Every year, people make resolutions. They say, I'm going to lose weight. I will stop smoking. I want to buy a new car or house. Hey, let's save some money and take a trip this year. Or maybe this is the year that you want to find a new job. So the new year somehow conjures up grand visions of goals and dreams, fantasies like winning the lottery. And every year, these dreams fall through. The statistics say only 9% of resolutions are completed, 23% quit in their first week, and 43%, almost half of the people, quit by the end of January. Wouldn't it be better to use energy to stop? Wouldn't it be a better use of energy to stop with these resolutions that go nowhere? Obviously, there are things we take on with enthusiasm. We have a desire to accomplish the goal or achievement, or other events that are exciting and fun that we plan for and look forward to with anticipation. But also, we might have difficult challenges that will require our toughest attitude and greatest focus with a life-changing result if we fail. No matter what the challenge, we should approach the task with the same motivation. Whether you choose this path in June or January, it shouldn't matter. Don't let up and don't let others water down your resolve as time passes. It's tough to remain focused, especially with all the demands life places on us and all the distractions we have bombarding us each day. It's all about discipline, the resolve to obey the rules or demonstrate controlled behavior. If you can master disciplined behavior, you can apply that to any endeavor. One way you can do this is to just say no. No to those trying to distract you from your goal, including yourself. Think about the people you know or read about who spent a lifetime pursuing a goal or a dream. They aren't admired for the goal, but for their focus, determination, and discipline for achieving what they set out to do. A great example is our country's first president and leader in the Revolutionary War. In 1777, he marched his troops into Valley Forge for the winter. Congress was unable to provide funding for food and clothing for them. On December 31st, 1777, Washington wrote to Marquis de Lafayette, who was a French general, "I will continue to observe one steady and uniform conduct, which I shall invariably pursue while I have the honor to command, regardless of the tongue or of slander or the powers of distraction." George Washington was able to motivate most of his weary men to remain and not desert. He described men marching without clothes, blankets, or shoes, leaving bloody trails in the snow. That winter at Valley Forge could have meant the end of the American Revolution. Fortunately for the Continentals, Washington did not give up, and neither did his army. Certain members of Congress were working to replace Washington, and he replied, "If you can find someone better suited to lead the army," he would be more than happy to resign. For those soldiers that remained, Washington expressed his deepest gratitude. For those who displayed patience and obedience, which in my opinion can scarce be paralleled, Washington said, Congress realized that his soldiers' loyalty could not be matched if they put another person in command, and they stopped their efforts to replace him. In March of 1778, Washington led his troops out of Valley Forge, buoyed with renewed confidence and supplies, due in large part to Washington's and other founding fathers' relationship with the French. To face the British again, they headed out, and the rest, as they say, is history. No matter the odds against you, set your goals for 2024 and beyond, and never underestimate your ability to achieve them. And the quote this week is by George Washington. I had to pick one out by George, of course. And I love this because he accomplished so much, and yet listen to this quote. "I hope I shall possess firmness and virtue enough to maintain what I consider the most enviable of all titles, the character of an honest man."
Ooh, I like that.
Yep.
Very nice.
Good quote.
So take an example from history. Never sway from your goals. Never let other people discourage you, no matter what they say. You can do it. And it saved our country that George Washington did it. Or established our country, I guess. But yeah, who knows? We might all be British subjects if that didn't happen, right?
I sure hope we have still some great men that coming forward in the next years, Dave. I hope we can recover what we once had.
Yeah, I've thought that many times, Jim.
Just,
where are these people today?
Yeah.
Yeah,
government's too messy. They just don't want to be involved. They're leading great lives because they're great men.
Right. I think that's
or
it.
great
in a
women.
nutshell.
Yeah.
It's not worth the headache.
Right. Yeah. lots of stuff to think about this year.
Do you guys think 83 days is long?
No.
Not really, Jam. The way time flies anymore. 99. I consider 83 days. I consider 90 days, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's 83 days until spring.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was just thinking I was going to mention, and then I forgot because our days are getting longer already.
Yep.
We started on the other way.
I sure haven't noticed yet. This weekend I slept in a little bit, didn't get up till like 5:36, but man, it's dark in the morning.
I slept in a couple mornings, and it was light out, Dave, and I'm like, oh wow, it's 7. I mean, I know it's light out. Yeah.
I think we gain like 4 minutes a day.
Yeah, to start
It
with.
increases, yeah.
2 in
It
sunrise
really
and
starts
2 in
increasing.
sunset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make that.
Something like that.
But 83 days to spring. What's the first day of spring, Jan? Is that
March
something?
16th or 19th?
Yeah.
What did I just see? I actually got that. I saw Rick posted that yesterday, but it was 84 days, so minus 1.
83? Yeah.
Let's see. First day of spring, March 19th.
Okay. Yeah, I have this whole thing with time lately. It just goes by too fast, and
It's the older you get, right?
yeah, and then thinking I might be on the last part of my life. It just
Doom
really
and gloom.
really sticks with me for some reason. I don't know. Back to your story, Dave, a few weeks ago, where the guy started pulling marbles out of the jar
The marbles,
Right.
week by week.
Oof.
Yep.
You get, like you said, like the story was, you get down to 10 marbles, whether he just, because I think he said it was like 78, wasn't that, Dave? The average life was 78, and I'm just looking at, I've picked 80 for some reason, and the next 20 years, what will they look like? Because I'm in total control. It's not like it's not like being younger.
What do you want them to look like?
Yeah, what do you want them to look like? It's all up to me. It's like you earlier in the podcast. What do we want to get prepared for, Jam? Same thing. You can do all sorts of things to be prepared. I can do all sorts of things in the next 20 years because I'm more in control of those 20 years than I've been in my whole life. Because you don't know, having kids or getting married, you don't know what that relationship's going to be. My kids are amazing young adults. I've been married to Holly for almost 30 years. I know what the things are going to be. What do I want to do with the next 20 years? How do I want them to be? Total control. And no regrets. I know me and you talked about it. Me and Brother Dave's talked about it. I have no regrets, though.
Have you come up with anything?
Oh, no, Jam. I'm still struggling.
Of regrets?
So you're coming back tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Oh, I got a lot of days left. Yeah. They're just going to go by fast, Jam.
Yeah.
Maybe that's...
Jim.
It does go quick, man.
And they really hit you when you have gatherings like we had on Christmas.
Yeah.
And you see all these little babies and grandkids that maybe you've met once. I don't know. We have a new baby that I've never met before. And these kids are having kids and it's blowing you away.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, man,
Yeah.
we are old.
I would say because your kids are grown. I mean, now they're grown and they're grown. You know, having Bella and watching her, it just makes it feel
grow, yeah.
Yeah, physically and emotionally and maturity wise, and not so much sometimes, but yeah, she was a little pipsqueak when I met her, and she's like, it blows me away.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
that work-life balance or that balance of life, and it's going to sound like a regret, but like you're saying, Jam, some of those growing moments, you're like, oh, should I have paid attention a little bit more here and there? Because they are amazing times. But I seriously, I have no regrets because I have a lot of amazing times. I guess that's the whole thing to it.
Well, I guess in your situation, it's important to remember that you can do anything you want. It's not too late.
Yeah, it's not. I guess that's advice for young people is make the best out of both times. The work time, your family time. Save some money if you can. Invest in yourself. Be present. And you wake up with a bad mood. Stop and change that bad mood. Change that flat tire because you can't continue. You can't continue on.
Yep.
Yeah,
Remember.
I was going to call out I'm in a bad mood. I ain't going to work today.
You guys don't want me there. I'm in a bad mood.
Right. I know that's bullshit because you're going to share, Dave.
Yeah.
If I'm in a bad mood,
that's
everybody's in a
hardest
bad
thing
mood.
from my mind is calling out.
But I'm sure way down in the bottom, Dave, because you told me that, you talked to Jam and JR and Scooby and everybody out there, and it, just changed your day, is you probably knew that you had to get to work because it was going to change. And that could be part of that change, was just coming to work.
Well, it did change. I got to just shooting the bull with these guys and joking around, and I didn't know why I was in a bad mood.
Yeah,
I just woke up that morning and I was grumpy. I really was. I
Woke up like this.
Yeah, I kicked the dog. No, would never do that. But
Kicked the dog, bit the cat,
It
went on.
definitely changed once I got here because none of you guys were in a bad mood. You were all, except for you, Dave, later on. That happens too. Because sometimes that'll happen at home, and the next thing you know, Jackie's in a bad mood, and I'm in a better mood. So yeah, I passed it off to you, Brother Dave.
Oh,
You're it.
Man, if you guys are both in a bad mood, just shut your door.
I just
Put
thought
up
it
a
was
sign,
funny, Dave,
bad
because you like declared it. Like you walked in the morning and you're like, I'm in a bad mood. I woke up this morning and I was just in a bad mood. I found that interesting because to wake up like that, usually you're, and I don't mean you, but the person is usually, that's created. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I spilled my coffee on myself. I didn't have my pants, or you know what I mean? Like I couldn't find my hat. My
Cop pulled me over this morning.
Yep, my wallet was whatever. You know what I mean? Car didn't start. You have just usually this gallop of things that are making it a bad day, right? It's not even usually just one thing. It's a multitude of things. And you didn't have any of that. You just walked in, you're like, I'm just in a bad mood today. I woke up in a bad mood. I was like, I don't think I've ever heard him say that. Seriously, you made the conscious announcement. It was like, I'm in a bad mood.
I'm grumpy. Help me, please. It was a cry for help, right?
Well, you didn't say
what
that.
it was.
You just said I'm in a bad mood.
No, but you should have read that into it and said, don't worry about it, Super Dave. We'll take care of you.
Hey, I haven't been married to you for 30 years.
Super
Pretty
Dave was,
damn close, Brother Dave.
Right?
actually, that was just an invitation for you to join him. Come over here.
Come on down to the low road.
Right.
We're going to do
Sometimes that
some.
low road is a super freeway, man.
Yep. We're going to do some loud jaking, some cutting off, not letting anybody on the on ramp,
Yeah, it's an
Flipping
attraction.
following
off.
too close.
Right.
You guys,
Swinging your trailer at the car behind you,
I like doing
stirring up
that.
dust.
Giving them a little dip.
Yep. Spray
Love
some
doing
gravel on them.
Is that our final thoughts, or do you guys have real ones?
Boy,
No, I have more.
we're
Oh.
I
grinding
have
gears.
I can't
You ready
wait to
for
hear-
this?
Yeah.
Because I gotta get you guys' input on this. So there was a blind girl that hated herself for being blind.
Are you gonna make me cry?
Is this a dad joke?
I'm in a bad mood.
Will you guys just shut up and let me get through it? Oh man. There was a blind girl that hated herself for being blind. The only thing she liked was her loving boyfriend. She always said, if I could ever see the world, I would marry you. Then one day, someone donated a pair of eyes to her. Now she could see everything, including her boyfriend. Now that you see the world, will you marry me? Her boyfriend said. The girl was shocked when she saw her boyfriend was also blind. She then refused to marry him. The boyfriend walked away in tears, later to write her a letter saying, just take care of my eyes, dear. What is the moral of the story?
That's deep.
That is deep. What is the moral of the story? I guess to be appreciative and not judge people, or I don't know. That's
It's not what you see, it's what you get.
Yeah.
Don't
Isn't
bite
it-
the hand that feeds you. I mean, there's
Don't give a gift ever.
yes. Hang on to your eyes.
I think she got vision and was like, looked at him and said, damn, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
Well,
Probably not
man.
helping this ending here.
I wrote down, our circumstances change often, but then so do our minds. That's what I kind of wrote down as that.
That reminds me, there's like a picture of a girl's falling off a cliff and the guy's trying to help her, but there's like a rattlesnake biting him. Like, and it's just like, she thinks that, I don't know, I'll have to find it. I'll have to find it and just send it to you.
I've seen the different circumstances like that, and that, you know, should you let go, or, you know, something like that, or what's the pain? Yeah. I thought it was a interesting little story I ran across. So wanted to, I guess everybody can think about that out there in the podcast world to end the year out with that thought, you know.
Did he say take care of your eyes or take care of my eyes?
Take care of my eyes, dear.
Take care of my eyes.
Yeah, that was the only thing he wanted, was take care of my eyes. Now that she could see the whole world. Yeah. I don't know. That would be. Can you imagine being so giving? You know, that you'd sacrifice that.
Man.
Yeah. How come he didn't give her one eye?
Oh, Dave, you make me laugh, because now I can picture two people with patches.
Well, then he'd bless her with sight, and he'd still have
That
sight.
would have been logical.
Yeah.
That would have been smart.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think I think in reading the quote, Dave, I just think he was so set on that. If, you know, when she said, if I could see the world, I would marry you, and he wanted her to see the world, so he gave her everything. You know, not just one eye, but both, so that they could be married. And then, you know, the sight of him being blind, you know, changed the circumstances. So, I don't know. My thought. I don't know if that's happy or sad, but interesting.
I think it's sad. You know?
Yeah.
Because he loved her so much, and then she didn't reflect that love.
No.
Here's the picture I was talking about. Have you seen that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I haven't, Jim. Not like that. Oh, because there's a boulder on him, too.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And she's being bit by the snake, so it's just, you don't understand each other's circumstances. You know, he's got a lot of pressure on him, and she's being bit by the snake, and
Yeah, and they're still holding on. Still trying to hold on.
Man, you guys went like deep philosophical. I was just going to wish everybody Happy New Year.
Awesome.
He's going to say Happy New Year, vote next year.
Of course. I mean, that's a gimme, isn't it?
Yeah.
Any more news on the Trump thing of him?
I haven't heard anything, Jim.
No.
I know Jim sent that deal out that don't get too worried about it, because the Dems kept Abraham Lincoln off 10 different states and he still won.
Right.
Michigan
in 1860.
Michigan didn't. They voted against taking him off their ballot.
Yeah.
And it failed in Minnesota as well.
Abe Lincoln or Trump?
Trump.
Got it.
I've seen so many different things, and it just depends. Are you watching the left or are you watching the right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they're actually, I did see one interview on the left, and they're talking about stop putting this in the news because it's actually giving Trump a surge. Like, now people are ready to vote for him because he's the underdog. He's
like,
this,
you can't
he's that.
be that.
I know that was kind of one of the things that, you know, they were talking about taking him off the ballot in California, and Gavin Newsom was like, oh, no, we're not going to take him off the ballot out here. We're going to win by showing you the votes.
Yeah, that I've seen that comment quite a bit. Is that's the worst thing we can do, because that makes him a martyr.
Yes.
When we need to, you know, do the not the political, but what's the democratic thing is he either loses or wins by the vote of the people.
Yes.
The basis of it, period. Yeah.
It's so funny that when you think of democracy, right, you don't think of the Democratic Party.
Right.
It's two different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Similar name, but being a Democrat doesn't mean anything to do with democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you read, hopefully, you know, things I read are more to the truth and things like that, because, you know, you go back through, like you said, Dave, the history books, you know, and the Confederate Army and what am I trying to?
The rebels.
Yeah, the rebels, you know, which were the Southern, which were more Democrat than anything, and how slavery and all that different stuff turned out. It's just, and then you, like I said, you get stuck on that TikTok thing, and you can go back and forth, or a YouTube video or things like that, and just it can flood your mind with so many thoughts that you have to pick through what makes sense.
Well, you have to weed through it, don't you, Jim?
You do, Dave,
and
you do.
What is true, what isn't true, and just all of that stuff.
Here's a definition of democracy: a system of government by the whole population or all the eligible members of a state, typically through elected representatives.
Yeah, I ran into a guy talking about stuff too, Jam, and he was talking about serving his wife and his wife serving him, and quite a conversation about it. And and he goes, I'm sure I will take such a backlash on what serving means, and he just had some interesting comments that he said but we both serve each other.
Yeah. If you wake up every day and try to outserve your wife, and she wakes up every day and tries to outserve you, you're both going to be very well served.
Yep.
Yeah. Lots of love there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Soup, you got any final thoughts?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Sweet.
Be safe out there. Get a cab if you have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ubers are cheap.
Right?
Yeah, really cheap compared to.
Getting a DUI is instant loss of job and probably 15 to 20,000 just to keep your license, let alone wherever you could get a job.
Yep.
Yeah, that reminds me of a dad joke that I decided not to say. When you're young, you get to stay up till midnight for New Year's Eve. And when you're middle-aged, you have to stay up till midnight.
I ran across that one. I thought that was
And when
good.
you're old like me, I don't even worry about it. I'll be in bed by 9.
I don't know. A couple of last years, I think we've fallen asleep and set an alarm and woke back up for it.
Yeah, if anybody needs a ride, feel free to call me. It's just got to be before 8 p.m. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait till the next day.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Yeah, and you might keep in mind too. I ran across it too that I thought it was last week's podcast, Dave, when the clearinghouse is changing the rules. About your partying and stuff.
Taking your license.
Yep, taking your license, and it's serious next year. And I think they did the same thing. It's going to start September 2024, Dave.
Oh, really? I thought it was January, but
I think because you said sometime next year on your comments, and I think because they did that when they started to initiate it in 2020 was September. They started rolling the different.
Yeah, it's
stuff
not
out.
January 1st. I thought it was like March or May or something like that.
Could have been, Jam. I just wondered if it was around that September time. But
the risk is not worth the reward. Just keep that in mind.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, a couple drinks.
Yeah, or
Drugs.
other things. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't going there.
Too late.
nothing rings in the new year better than a good night's sleep.
Yep, that's very true.
Or a taxi ride with red and blue flashing lights.
One bad thing about the new year is all the New Year's resolutioners at the gym. Give up now.
Oh, so the gym is super crowded in January,
Oh,
huh?
God, it's ridiculous. Yep.
Interesting.
That's the reason Ray said, don't try.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why
just
even
use your
try?
blinker. I love it. Love it.
A resolution you can actually do.
Yeah, you want to get an arm workout, use that blinker.
Yeah. BD, did you have anything else? Or just Happy New Year?
Just thankful for the year, that everyone had. And like you said, lots of life going on here at JFW, lots of ups and downs. And, I hope there were more ups than downs. It seems like the ups come and go fast, and the downs are kind of prolonged sometimes. So it's hard to keep that in perspective. But I hope they do equal out. Think twice about what you think is an up. I think sometimes, just getting up and making it to work is becoming an up. That could be a win for people.
Yep.
And I'm just looking forward to next year. I'm looking forward to, new people here at JFW and the ones we already have, the family that's here. And, we talk about it all the time. The generations we have working in the wash bay and, in the shop. And in the office and driving and the relationships we have with everyone, and it's just a great time, I guess. Don't let these 2 weeks, 3 weeks here through winter freak you out. If you are new to construction or new to this industry, this is what it is. It's not like this is unusual, and you'll get through it. It'll be okay, and enjoy the time off with your family. I didn't get to throw it out there. I kept not wanting to interrupt anybody, but if you've worked here 30 days and you go, I'm not making any money, well, that's because your first 2 weeks you were training and you got training pay, and your next 2 weeks you were just learning how to do your craft. I've said it once, and I'll say it 100 more times. You have to work here a year to learn how to do that and be successful, and we want everyone to work here at least a year. Don't come here if we're just your next box to check off. So
yeah,
I'm excited to meet new people, and even more excited to greet the ones that have been here a long time. So looking forward to the party this Friday, and we should have a good time.
Yeah, I've had a great year here, and I like working with most of you. But all kidding aside, like there's been some laughs, there's been some tears, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I love the JFW family. I love being here every day, and we'll see everybody next year. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the Challenge 23 podcast. Hit that follow button. Also, don't forget to go back and listen to episode 72 to help find Amber's mom. Links to her story will be in the description of today's podcast as well.
Nice.
Say the creed and get on out.
Sounds good.
Together we are face and overcome all that stands before us. Together we are accident free. Together we joyfully create honest value for those we serve. Together we celebrate our differences and respect those with whom we work. Together we are accountable for our words and our actions. Together we are the JFW family. All right.
Woo! Happy New Year, everybody. Have a great week.
I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. Well, it's a family tradition, any Rocky Mountain day. Our fathers before us showed us the way. We work for asphalt cowboys and concrete kings, but that's never been a problem, cause we got diesel in our veins. We've got diesel in our veins. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. I hear there's a couple million tons to move. I see them everywhere. So you best get out their way and watch that sand and gravel disappear. There's another run to make. We gotta get it there on time. And we got what it takes to lay it all out on the line. We'll lay it all out on the line. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks got the best drivers in town. They got all the tools they need to keep that hammer down. When they hit them scales, they won't need to dodge them, won't need to duck them. They just keep that hammer down, and they keep that diesel trucking. Keep that hammer down, and keep that diesel trucking. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-looking for another load. They just keep them doors a-closed, keep them butts in their seats, 'cause those customers are calling, And those red trucks can't be beat. They've got to put the hammer down and pick up another load. Get it off the ground. Keep them eyes open and on the road. Keep them eyes open on the road. I see those big, bright, shiny red trucks just a-trucking down the road. Those big, bright, shiny red trucks just looking for another load. Breaker 23, anybody got a copy on that Channel 23 podcast? Welcome, and thanks for listening.